alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. So we're standing outside here. It's the end of the 13th day of Ramadan. And my thought today is actually related to many instances that I have faced during my work with multiple teams on various projects. I noticed that we can easily have doubts about someone for whatever reason that is. So we're in a team and someone does something, and all of a sudden people have doubts about that person, and they even take it to the extra level of acting on that doubt. So the topic today is based on what's called su' al-dhan. Su' al-dhan, I could translate it to false and negative doubt. Or you could say false or negative doubt. They're not too mutually exclusive. So why am I saying that? Because the idea of su' al-dhan is that this doubt is not founded and is not based on any tangible evidence. So that's where the word false comes in. But also the word negative comes in because that doubt or that dhan has a bad influence on you and on the people around you. I could categorize this idea of su' al-dhan into three different categories. The first category is that you're working with someone, or you're dealing with someone, or you heard about someone who did something wrong. So we agree that that action was wrong, whatever that action is. So all of a sudden, to us, that person becomes the worst person you've ever seen. This guy is there to really harm you, to hurt you, or to hurt other people or whatnot. And this one act has created in our hearts that dhan or that doubt that this person is totally bad. There is nothing good about that person. So that's the first category. The second category, which is a little bit funnier in the situation, is that someone does a good thing. So someone, for example, leads a halaqat. That's a good act. Or someone, you work in a project and he takes on an extra task, takes the initiative on. And you see that person, and then all of a sudden this person, for example, who took the initiative, he's trying to take over the team, he's trying to take over the work, he wants to manipulate people and whatnot. So these thoughts immediately come to us. The most hilarious of all situations is a situation where the person is neutral. This person didn't do anything. No good, no bad, nothing. He's just sitting there, he's dealing with his or her own business, and we start building scenarios on that person. We look at him, we start building scenarios. So for example, if this person is going to say this, then he means that. And if she's going to do that, then she's trying to do this. And the funny part is that we look at all these scenarios, and they're all bad scenarios. There is no good scenarios amongst them. Now why is that? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us clearly in the Quran. He says, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu ijtanibu kathiran min al-dhann inna ba'd al-dhanni ith. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, all people you believe, avoid a lot, kathiran, of the dhann, of the doubt. Inna ba'd al-dhanni ith. Some of this doubt is ithm, and the word ithm here is actually from what's called a collective words. It's a word that has a lot of meanings under it. So it's a collective word to everything that's evil, or everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't accept from us. So it's pretty much like the word bad or the word evil. Under them comes a lot of categories and a lot of actions. But this is all one case. The case that only doubts are coming within us. Acting on these unfounded doubts is a whole different story. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the ayah, وَلَا تَجَسَّسُوا وَلَا يَغْتَبْ بَعْضُكُمْ بَعْضًا, that, oh, you believe, do not spy on people and do not backbite. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us two actions that we could do based on this unfounded or false and negative doubt, which is spying on people. So for example, oh, that brother, I think he has this bad intention. I'm gonna go spy on him. So you sit there and you're observing that brother, you're trying to collect information about him and whatnot, all based on dhan. So that's one part. The other part, which is وَلَا يَغْتَبْ بَعْضُكُمْ بَعْضًا, the second act is that you do a backbiting on that person. Alaykum assalam wa barakatuh. Backbiting on that person. So for example, you had this little doubt about a sister, for example. You go between the sisters and you start gossiping about her. Why? It's not even founded. And this slowly spread, and all of a sudden the only thought that came to us, it becomes a reality about that person, and without any evidence. Now I was chatting once with my dad, and just as part of my inquisitive conversation, I told him I have this theory. I told him that any person that thinks or sees things from a certain perspective, that perspective reflects him. Let me elaborate. For example, let's say you find a brother who is leading halaqat, and you look at him and you're like, this brother is showing off. My theory is saying that if you're saying about that brother he's showing off, that means if you're in his situation, you're the one who's going to be showing off. So whenever we come and we look at a certain perspective, that's coming from within us. So it's reflecting us. So it is us. Now this topic is very big. That's why I want to divide it into 2 episodes so that we can go run and have iftar right now. But let's just remember this for now, and inshallah in the next episode we'll see how we can deal with this idea of su'al dhann, the false or negative doubt. Jazakum Allahu khair. I wish you the best Ramadan. I wish you the best fasting. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.